I just finished making my own version of Google's Dinosaur game. If you don't know, the Dinosaur game appears anytime you don't have internet when searching Google. So, while you can't look up how tall Dwayne Johnson is, you can still play this fun game. The game is simple. You're a dinosaur running through a desert and jumping over cactuses, trying to achieve a high score. The game is pretty classic, so I think it was pretty awesome that I got to make my own. But that's not the coolest part. Some of you may be wondering why I'm posting a supposedly coded game on a math channel. That's because I didn't code it. I made it with math. But before I can explain any of that, let's go back in time, to about a year ago, when I first had this idea. I was TAing an Algebra 2 class when the teacher gave them her annual assignment. Make something by experimenting with the Desmos Graphing Calculator. Some people would make intricate art pieces. Some people just made crazy designs that looked really cool in the end. And some people would make animations. This was what intrigued me. When I did my first assignment, I made a man climbing up a ladder trying to escape some lava. Kind of cool, but kind of simple. I remember one of my friends telling me about someone who had made another game, Geometry Dash, on Desmos. The game was very short, slow, but very well done. So when I had another opportunity to make another Desmos project, I chose to do something similar. The classic no internet dinosaur game. The whole game took about a course of a year to make. Why? Because I quit after the first couple of days. Recently though, I came back to it, and I'm going to show you some of how I made it today. So, let's get into it. First, we need ground and sky, so we have a world to work with. Next, let's add our dinosaur. The dinosaur's vertical value was eventually written in terms of A, so that it could change with the value of A, and therefore change the height of the dinosaur. Next, I added a sine function, so that the dino could jump in a more typical fashion. Eventually, I added some more variables, so that the player could control the dino with a click of a button. Next, we need a cactus. The cactus' x value was eventually written in terms of b. Therefore, as the b's value changed, the cactus would move. But in order for it to move the right way, we needed to add another variable, c, so that b could be a go-between variable to make the cactus move in the right direction. Then came the death screen. Why is it called that? Because it not only was supposed to kill the dinosaur, but because it nearly killed me in the process. Okay, that's a bit dramatic, but it was really hard. Why? Well, I wanted to create it so that when the dinosaur was hit, an instant game over screen occurred. Why wouldn't that work? Well, once I linked the kill command to the kill screen, I found that because the game was always running in the background, the kill screen would blip in and out every time you were killed. This is supposedly great for the game player, but who wants to play a game that you can't even really lose? So I started to try and come up with different ways I could keep the kill screen running in a loop. The thing is, Desmos doesn't have a loop function, and it seems pretty impossible to make one. The only way you could make one is if you define one variable in terms of the other variable, which Desmos doesn't allow you to do. After that, I tried making the cactus stop moving when you hit the kill screen. But the C variable can never stop moving because it's always running in the background. Even considered making two C variables that would run, one so that it could stop the cactus, and the other so that it could tell when the cactus had been hit, which I still don't think works. So, enough with what didn't work. How did I make a fully functioning kill screen that runs almost continually in a loop? I broke Desmos, of course. Well, you can't define moving variables in terms of other variables. You can make their minimum and maximum values in terms of other variables. Basically, I eventually found myself with these variables. An L variable that runs continually, and an M variable with an absolutely crazy maximum value. Then I set the maximum value of the L variable to that variable. Therefore, the L variable remains at 0 until the player dies. Then it is allowed to move past 0 into the totally crazy value. Then, though the game continues to persist, the L value is rarely ever stopped on 0 ever again. By linking the kill screen to the L variable, it will go off anytime L does not equal 0. And voila, we have the death screen. Now, I added a couple more things, including sounds. Who knew you could do those on Desmos? Some clouds, and a timer function. I also could have added a couple more things, like birds or the inverted color screen when it reaches 700 points. However, I'm not going to go into any of that for the sake of the length of this video. Thanks for watching this video. Make sure to check out the links in the description to the original Dinosaur game, the Geometry Dash Desmos game, and the Dino game I made using math. You know, come to think of it, this video contained multiple scenes of a dinosaur dying. Hopefully it wasn't too graphic. Get it? Graphic? Because it was made using a graphing calculator.